Hey, what's up? I'm Rio Cruz, and you are watching the Music Industry Contact YouTube channel where we do in-depth breakdowns of hit songs. Today, I'm going to be breaking down Shut Down by BLACKPINK, and I'm excited to get into it. Real quick, I want to say if you enjoy the video, consider subscribing and dropping a like, and also supporting us on Patreon. We cannot monetize these videos on YouTube, so we're extra grateful to anybody that supports us on Patreon, and we've even got some extra special stuff over there, like previews and polls to help select which song gets broken down next. So I hope to see you guys over on the Patreon. That being said, let's go ahead and get right into this one. This is Shut Down by BLACKPINK.
적 없으니까 고개들이 돌아 진정에 못 걷길라 분홍빛의 얼음 drip 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 freeze on side shut it down what yeah 이미 안해진 적이 없으니까 지저분이 목에 먹줄은 내 거니까 땅바닥에 단패로 we go 205 shut it down 초록빛을 내려 머리 위로 don't trip baby 겸손하게 그냥 앉아있어 just sit baby praying for my downfall many have tried baby catch me when you hit my Lamborghini go vroom 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 when we pull up you know it's a shutdown 간판 내리고 문 잠가 shut down whip it 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 it's black and it's pink once the sundown when we pull up you know it's a shutdown 간판 내리고 문 잠가 shut down whip it 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 keep watching me shut it down nah you don't wanna be on my best side that's right.
All right, so I have a feeling that this might be a shorter breakdown than usual just because I think this song doesn't rely on as much like dynamic change throughout the sections. I think that's provided a little more by the vocal and the lyrical content. I'm definitely not noticing as much change of instrumentation as I have on some of the other tracks. There is still some, and we'll cover that. I think this may be a simpler song in some ways than a lot of the other ones I've broken down. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it sort of finds a beat and just rides it, and if it works, it works. You know, if you don't feel like you need to change stuff, you don't feel like you need to change stuff. So let's go ahead and listen from the top one more time and go section by section, because there definitely are still changes, and it definitely is still using techniques and principles that exist in other songs.
Blackpink in your area.
Okay, so the very first thing that comes in is that high violin sample. So that's our high melodic hook right there. It's interesting and kind of flashy and very in your face.
Blackpink in your area.
We come in with a big trap beat and 808s and vocals. This song is starting with the chorus, but it's a shortened version of the chorus. They're just giving you a little bite-sized chunk so that you can get the easy to remember repetitive lyric and melody in your head for the rest of the choruses throughout the song. Ba 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 da da, ayo, very chanty.
컴백이 아니야 떠난 적 없으니까 고개들이 돌아 진정에 못 걷길라 분홍빛의 얼음 drip drip drip.
Okay, so because this song started with the chorus, we've already had a chorus to verse change. But the interesting thing is that not very much changed. I think I really only noticed two things change. One, that violin starts playing a similar melody about an octave lower, and it comes back in volume a little bit. So that means that our chorus has higher frequency content in it, and our verse does not have as much higher frequency content in it, which is consistent with other songs that we've looked at before. And then also, obviously, the vocals are the other thing that changes. We're doing sort of like more of a rap thing now, like you would see in a verse rather than a chorus. Other than that, I'm going to listen to it one more time, but I can't really tell if much else is changing. It seems to me like the beat just kind of keeps riding, like the 808s are still hitting hard and everything. Yeah, I think that beat pretty much just rides. I think the only significant changes are that violin comes down, moves back in volume a little bit, and then, we go into a different vocal, obviously, which is less of a gang vocal. It's just pretty much one voice doing their shut it down. Okay, hold on. I think I might have just heard a change between verse half 1 and verse half 2. Let me see that again. Shut it down. Okay, so at first, when we listened all the way through the first time, I didn't think that there was any change in the verse between half 1 and half 2 of it, but I was wrong. It's kind of subtle, but I just noticed there are some more strings, maybe violins, maybe cellos. I don't really know my strings that well. They come in the background on the second half of the verse, and they're going bum, 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 bum. Listen closely and you'll catch it here. We go 205, shut it down. So really, really subtle, but still technically a change within the section. The whole verse isn't just the same all the way through. It's a very felt, not heard addition. I didn't even realize that I was hearing it at first. 5, shut it down. Praying for my downfall, many have tried, baby. Catch me when you hit my Lamborghini, go vroom, 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 vroom. When we... Okay, so that was our pre-chorus. We saw something that we've seen in a lot of pre-choruses before, which is they pulled the bass elements out. The 808s are gone, and I'm pretty sure the kick was gone too, right? Let me hear. Praying for my downfall. Yep, it's just hat, snare. They lost the kick, they lost the 808. And the string section does something different for this part too. They switch to this bum 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 bum. I would also say they sound the strings a lot more like verbed out than they do in any of the other sections. So this is not a particularly reverby song. So they're not doing anything like on a dance song where you get like a super reverby pre-chorus and it's all spacey only to slam back into the chorus. But we're still seeing a little bit more reverb on the strings in the background to feel just a little floatier before we come back down to our chorus. And we are also losing those bass and kick elements like we often do in the pre-chorus. Okay, the one other addition we get in this pre-chorus is this synth that comes in going the right before the bum 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 bum. Praying for my downfall, many have tried, baby. Catch me when you hit my Lamborghini, go vroom 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 vroom. When we pull up, you know. That violin comes in a little bit before beat 1 of the chorus, just as it did in the intro, which is kind of cool that it has pickup notes, honestly. It's a shutdown. Shut down. Whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it. Whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it. It's black and it's pink once the sundown. When we pull up, you know it's a shutdown. Shut down. They've also got like a sound effect of like a door, like a garage door slamming closed or something, and they hit it on some of the like shut down right there. I wonder if that's just I'm listening to the music video version right now. In my experience, some of these K-pop songs, like I'll listen to a version on Spotify and then I'll check the music video version, and they'll have like some minor differences in arrangement, or like one will have a sample that the other one doesn't. So I don't know if that's in every version of the song, but that's kind of cool prosody between the production and the lyrics. Whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it. Whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it. Keep watching me shut it down. Nah, you don't wanna be on my best side. That's right, I'm sliding through. Bunch of wannabes that wanna be me. Me 3 if I was you. Okay, so that little violin, just to give it a little ending flair, doesn't do the same thing all the way through. It's got that little trill at the end. I think it's important if you have a melodic part like that that's playing something very similar throughout a lot of the song, like this violin, to give it fills, almost like if you were a drummer that was playing the same beat, you know, you would want to spice it up by putting a drum fill in there occasionally. I find it useful to think like that even when you're not playing the drums, when you're playing other instruments, because melodic instruments and melodic parts need fills like that too, to break up the monotony and to break up the repetition. So at the end of the chorus here, they have the violin do a little trill or a fill. Keep watching
me shut it down. Nah, you don't wanna be on my best side. That's right, I'm sliding through. Bunch of wannabes that wanna be me. Me three if I was you. Been around the world, pose on your girl, VVS is being invested. Need a lesson, see the neck, see the stresses we don't buy, we recursing. A rock star, a pop star, but rowdy. Say bye to the paparazzi. Get my good side, I'll smile.
Okay, so coming into verse 2 out of the chorus, the violin actually stays up high this time. Remember, in verse 1, it sounded like this. But coming out of the chorus into verse 2, it's gonna stay up high like it was in the chorus.
Shut it down. Nah, you don't wanna be on my best side. That's right, I'm sliding through. Bunch of wannabes that wanna be me. Me three if I was.
So because the beat doesn't change at all and that violin stays up high, this is basically just the chorus instrumental, but now we're doing like a rap over it. That's how you can tell we're in a verse again. But this is kind of interesting because verse 2 does not actually change from the chorus very much.
Was you been around the world, pose on your girl, VVS is being invested. Need a lesson, see the neck, see the stresses we don't buy, we recursing. A rock star, a pop star, but rowdy.
So it went down there. So they took it down for the second half. That's kind of interesting because that's like the first half of the verse then almost has a little more energy because it's got more of that high frequency of that violin being up high. And then for the second half, they bring it down low. So it's kind of counterintuitive because that's like the opposite way that I would have expected them to plot it, but it sounds good to me. So let's listen to that verse one more time.
Wanna be on my best side, that's right, I'm sliding through. Bunch of wannabes that wanna be me. Me three if I was you. Been around the world, pose on your girl, VVS is being invested. Need a lesson, see the neck, see the stresses we don't buy, we recursing. A rock star, a pop star, but rowdy. Say bye to the paparazzi. Get my good side, I'll smile for ya. No, it ain't fair to ya, it's scaring you. Like what now? BLACKPINK in your area. The area been shut down, it's a shutdown. 네 다음 답안지가 똑바로 봐도 sleep, baby. 뒤집어봐 이건 가격표야 ain't cheap, baby. Stay in your own lane cause I'm about to swerve. Catch me when you hit my Lamborghini, go vroom, 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 vroom. When we pull up, you know. Okay,
so they made pre-chorus 2 different mainly by doing a little beat stop in the middle of it on that Lamborghini go swerve. They pulled the beat out for a second. They also pulled it out going into it. The beat for this song sounds like really trap beat influence to me, and that happens a lot in trap beats, is like since they can get kind of repetitive sometimes you don't need a fill, sometimes you need to just like yank the beat out for a second. But again, really subtle differences here.
Now it's a shutdown. 간판 내리고 문 잠궈 shutdown. Whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it. Whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it. It's black and it's pink once the sun down. When we pull up, you know it's a shutdown. 간판 내리고 문 잠궈 shutdown. Whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it. Whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it. Keep watching me shut it down.
Chorus 2 sounded pretty similar to chorus 1 to me. I can't tell if there's a whole lot of difference there, to be honest.
Shut down.
Was that melody new? Have they done that already?
Shut it down. BLACKPINK in your area. Shut it down. Walk, 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 walk. Shut it down. BLACKPINK in your area. Keep talking, we shut you down.
Okay, so the lyrics obviously aren't new for that part, but it's kind of a new melody and it's kind of a new chant. Again, it's like really similar to what was there before, but they shook it up just enough that it's like its own special thing just for the last outro chorus, I guess you could say, to make it feel a little bit different. And then we're pretty much out of the song.
In your area, keep talking, we shut you down.
They do one last fill again with the vocal, the da 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 da, and we also get one more of that little violin fill hook. They repeated that enough times. I'm considering like the fill itself, honestly, kind of a hook, in addition to the violin part. But yeah, that's the end of the song. Before I give my final thoughts on the song, I just want to say if you enjoyed the video, consider dropping a like, subscribing to us, or supporting us on Patreon. We really appreciate it when you do. And with that, I guess I will get on to my final opinions. So like I said, this song doesn't have as much like crazy dynamic change between its sections as some of the other ones that I've broken down, but it doesn't really need it. It found a good beat and it just kind of rode on it throughout the entire thing. I think a lot of times I hear a lot more like change in the drums to do dynamics, and this song, it was much more reliant on the vocals to provide that dynamic change. Like the drums were pretty much just pounding all the way through. I think the only thing we saw was when the kick and the 808s got cut for the pre-chorus. But other than that, they pretty much just kept rolling. I thought the violin hook sounded super cool. Kind of weird because like it's like a trap beat, but then the violin thing has like classical feels to it. So that was a cool mixture, cool little genre mixture there. I thought the vocal sounded cool and it had a lot of swagger to it. I really enjoy the simplicity of the production. It just feels like very clean. I could really make out like every single instrument very well. Overall, I like the track. I think it's pretty good. I enjoyed breaking it down. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video and you are an aspiring musician, producer, you should seriously consider applying for the Billboard 500 Club. It's the best place to be, surrounded by a community of like-minded driven musicians, producers, etc. that are all trying to better themselves in this industry. Once again, I'm Rio Cruz. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.